The sound of the knock echoed through the empty halls of the old mansion known as Redwood Manor. Maria, the young and wealthy heiress who inherited the property from her deceased mother, hesitated to answer the door. She wasn't expecting anyone, and strange occurrences had been happening around the property lately. Maria finally decided to answer the door and was greeted by a tall, thin man with a gaunt face and dark, sunken eyes. His voice was soft and gentle, but there was something sinister lurking behind his words. The man introduced himself as a private investigator, hired by Maria's absent father to keep an eye on her. Maria was skeptical, but couldn't deny that the man knew a lot about her and her family. She allowed him to come inside and stay for a few days. The man made himself at home in the mansion and started to get friendly with Maria. She found herself drawn to him despite her initial unease. As the days went by, strange things started to happen around the house. Objects would move on their own, and strange noises echoed through the halls at night. Maria felt constantly watched and couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't right. One night, Maria awoke to find the man standing over her, his eyes gleaming in the darkness. He whispered something in her ear, something about her father and a dark family secret. Maria tried to scream, but the man clamped his hand over her mouth, muffling her cries for help. Terrified, Maria struggled as the man dragged her out of the bedroom, down the stairs, and into the basement. Once they reached the basement, Maria realized with horror that it had been transformed into a torture chamber. The walls were lined with hooks, chains, and various instruments of pain. The man threw Maria into a small cell, locking the door behind her. For days, Maria was tortured and abused by the man, who revealed himself to be a sadistic psychopath who had been hired by her father to teach her a lesson. Days turned into weeks, and Maria's hope began to fade. But one day, she heard a faint tapping at the door of her cell. It was one of the man's former victims, a woman who had managed to escape after weeks of torture and abuse. The woman helped Maria escape, and together they set out to find justice for themselves and the countless other victims of the man's twisted games. However, the man was always one step ahead of them, and the more they learned about him, the more they realized that he was not just a hired killer, but a member of Maria's own family. As they delved deeper into the dark secrets of the family, they realized that the man was just the tip of the iceberg, and that there were others, even more powerful and depraved, lurking in the shadows. Maria and the woman knew that they were in grave danger, but they were determined to bring the family to justice, no matter the cost. In the end, they would face unimaginable horrors and discover that even the most twisted family secrets can be far more terrifying than anything they had ever imagined.